Self-Care Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. On this show, I share information about how to practice self-care that goes beyond bubble baths, chocolate, and wine. It even goes beyond exercise and nutrition and hydration and sleep habits. Those are kind of all we have been taught about self-care, but there are actually so many more ways to dive into this delicious world where we are taking care of ourselves first and on purpose so that then we can give with so much more love and energy. It can be uncomfortable. That's where the courage comes in. It can be bewildering if you have no idea where to start. That's where I come in. I've been studying this intensively for the last decade and have learned so much about how to take care of ourselves in a way that gives us more energy. And it ends up changing our lives. I am so glad that you're here. This is an example of self-care, tuning in, taking some time to listen to something that is going to lift you up rather than making you feel anxious or stressed like most of the media does out there. Be sure to stick around to the end. I'll be sharing a resource that I've created for you. And what are we going to talk about today? This is the month on finding harmony between masculine and feminine energy. In the last few episodes, I've been explaining why we would want to do that. It creates whole people when we are able to say consciously, okay, right now I need to access my masculine energy to get this thing done. And then moving into, okay, now I'm going to access my feminine energy because I am tuning into the mystery. I am needing some creativity. I want to lighten up and feel fun. So those are some examples of why we would want to do that. Today, I am sharing examples from nature. So as I have mentioned previously, this is a new paradigm in human consciousness. This harmony between masculine and feminine energy. Up until just a few decades ago, men only had access to masculine energy, and women only had access to feminine energy. It was clear cut. It was straightforward. We knew where we stood. And now, because the divine feminine is coming in with so much power and strength, it is throwing things off kilter. Things are changing. We are going into chaos because the old paradigm isn't going to serve us anymore. And so we have early adapters who are hungry for information on how to shift into this new paradigm. And then we have the people who are trying to build brick walls and say, no, we need to keep things the same. It has worked up until now and it will continue to work. I will make it work. And that's going to cause a lot of stress and chaos for those people and those that they are impacting. So today I'm going to share with you how we can learn more about this masculine and feminine energy. So the first place to look, I always feel, is nature. Nature has wonderful answers for us. So why look to nature? Because we are part of nature. We may have disconnected ourselves from it by living in houses and working in buildings and getting around in cars, but we are still part of nature. And nature can teach us so much if we take a few moments to tune in and listen and look and see and understand. So masculine energy and feminine energy coincide with beautiful harmony in nature. It is all around us. I'm going to share a couple of examples with you today. And then the next time you look out a window or go outside, go for a walk, you can also start to notice, oh, there's some masculine and feminine energy in beautiful harmony. And once we resonate with that and we look for it and we're aware of it, we bring more of that harmony into ourselves. So the first example of beautiful harmony between masculine and feminine energy is a river. The masculine energy in a river is the banks and the riverbed. It is the container. It has the form. It has the structure. The feminine energy is the water, and it flows through that container. It flows through that form and structure. It is more mysterious. It is flowing according to the laws of nature and the laws of the universe. There are obstacles In the river, there might be a fallen tree trunk, there might be boulders. The water knows what to do to continue its flow. It's a beautiful example of masculine and feminine energy working together to create this life force. If there was no masculine energy, if there were no riverbanks, no structure to it, there would be a flood. It would not work out very well for the river. Same thing if there was not enough of the feminine energy and it was just the form and the structure, there would be a drought. Also not working out very well for what a river is designed to do. When those two forces, those two energies of masculine and feminine come together in harmony, they create this life-giving entity that affects the ocean, it affects the wildlife, it affects the rocks, it affects everything. And that's what happens when we find harmony between our masculine and feminine sides. We are much better equipped to influence what's around us in a positive way. The other example I'd like to share with you from nature is a tree. How does a tree show us harmony between masculine and feminine energy? Well, the roots, the trunk, the bark, the branches, the leaves, the flowers, these are all form. They're structure. That's the masculine energy. It's straightforward. We can see it, we can understand it. The feminine energy is more mysterious. It's the life force flowing through the tree. It's the invisible. It's the interchange between the carbon dioxide that's being breathed in, the oxygen that's being breathed out. It's the food and water being sucked up by the roots and distributed to the tree. Again, you can't have one without the other. Without the form, obviously, there's no tree. And without the flow and the mysteriousness and the creative energy, the tree would be dead. So you can see how both of them are so important. It's the same thing in humans. Women, of course, have been in our masculine side. It's creating so much stress and dis-ease and just discomfort, not knowing who we truly are and being forced over the last few centuries to press down on the feminine energy and being told that those are weaknesses rather than strengths. Things are shifting though. Now men have access to feminine energy. Women have access to masculine energy. And to learn how to harmonize those, we look to nature. I encourage you, when you next are in contact with nature, look at what you see and wonder, how is this example in nature showing me how to harmonize my own masculine and feminine energy? I have two things to share with you. One is an invitation, one is the free resource. So the invitation is, I would love for you to be a guest on the podcast. Twice a week, I have interviews that are stories of courage, where you have, it doesn't have to be this monumental thing in other people's eyes. It's where you wanted to do something. There was fear involved. You overcame that obstacle and reaped the benefits on the other side. If you feel called to apply to be a guest, please go to ChristinaMarlette.com. I would love to receive your application and have you as a guest on the show. Now, the resource that I've created for you is the Self-Care Daily Checklist. It is not just a checklist, it's a teaching. It will give you a deeper idea of what self-care is and how to incorporate it into your day so that it doesn't necessarily take more time. It creates more time because you're caring for yourself. You can go to ChristinaMarlette.com to access that checklist. It's my gift to you. The Courageous Self-Care podcast airs Monday through Friday. Please be sure to come back and listen for more. And if you found this episode useful or interesting, you enjoyed it, please like it, leave a comment, share it with your friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to to subscribe to the channel so that you can come back and get notifications when a new episode is posted. I'm Christina Marlette. I am so grateful that you took this time to care for yourself by tuning in. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.